My name is Susan Crockett, and I'm an OBGYN, and I practice in San Antonio, Texas. Brad tells me I'm gifted. I guess that makes me a gifted adult, and he's asked me to come and talk with you guys today about that. I don't know.
What was it like being in school?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I started going to school up north, and I was oldest child and firstborn, and so my mom doted on me and thought that I was wonderful, and I don't know whether I really was or not, but she ended up putting me in school in kindergarten when I was really young. I was 4, and that was a little bit younger than other kids. And so I really excelled when I was young in the kindergarten thing, and was reading by 1st grade, and I remember the school really nurtured that in me. And so I would be the one that went around and taught the other kids, helped them with their reading, and it was a really good thing. It was a really positive thing. And I had a lot of friends in the neighborhood, had a great time. And then when I was 7, in 2nd grade, we moved to Texas, into this little town called Huntsville. Well, you can take that. And all right, so what happened when I moved to Texas was that cutoff age for school was different than up east. And so all of a sudden I was a whole another year younger than everybody in the class. But I was still a grade level ahead. And so it created this disparity, and our school district didn't really care what I did as long as I just made A's. So I was always into music and all kinds of activities and dance and all that kind of stuff. But in school, what happened was I was just the perfect overachiever, straight A student, and fell into a pattern of always just trying to get the recognition for achieving, and somehow never getting what I needed, I guess, from that. But anyway, as I entered into high school, I was 14, and I looked about 10. And so it created a whole lot more problems, especially socially. And but I did great in high school and did all kinds of wonderful music activities and excelled and did great academically and got all kinds of scholarships to college. So I'd always thought that I would be a physician, and I specifically thought that I would merge the talents of the piano playing that I did with science, and I thought I'd be a plastic surgeon. So I went into college thinking that, and since I went into A&M, they gave me full academic scholarship and national merit, the whole everything, and I pretty much separated from my parents at that time and went into college and just almost bottomed out. Almost failed out, almost lost my scholarship the first semester because I had done all of this stuff up through high school. I'd been allowed to take courses at the college and had 20 college credits going in, and did calculus and all this stuff, and I walked right into A&M engineering and didn't know how to study. And all of a sudden I was put in this situation where there were all these other really brilliant people, but they knew how to study. And
you never learned how to persevere when you didn't succeed, and you didn't probably know how to ask for help or how to organize studying.
None. Plus, I was 17 and had, just gone completely independent pretty much. So I started my first semester at A&M and had to change my major within 2 weeks. I quit engineering and switched over to life science. And but I was still stuck with all of these high-level engineering and calculus classes, and ended up doing really badly and almost lost my scholarship. And so my scholarship donor sat me down. He was a banker in town. He sat me down one time and he gave me this lecture about how I was going nowhere, and I better get my act together. And it kind of scared me, and so I did. And when I switched majors, it was actually a better fit, and I started working and brought my grade point average up, and actually ended up doing pretty well. So in college, I always, even in high school, I'd always prepared for tests and what I thought I would do next by doing a prep. So I took the PSAT when I was a sophomore, and then took it again as a junior, and then did the SAT the same way. So I had double scores Well, I got to my junior year in college and was actually like only 30 hours or so away from graduation, and thought, oh, I'll do my MCAT and just do a practice run on the MCAT and do a practice round of seeing if colleges would take me for med school, and I accidentally got in. And so I ended up skipping my senior year of college and entering med school when I was 20. And so again, socially, just not quite caught up to my peers, but academically sitting there with them. So, but I was really blessed and really fortunate, and did well in med school. By then, I guess I'd figured out how to study, or at least get by and drink enough caffeine to make the grades work. So, did really well through that. Okay, so one of the biggest things about being a female and being gifted is like learning how to interact with the male part of the population. Mm-hmm. And that was always a difficult thing anyway growing up, because I wasn't the oldest son, I was the oldest daughter, and so I wasn't ever expected really to achieve. And when you're smarter than 95% of the population, and 95% of the population, half of it is male, and they think they ought to dominate you, it's a really difficult place to be socially. So. But again, it's like all along the way I can trace my life, and I can see where there were angels that were put in my path that helped me get through it. So I had a wonderful boyfriend coming out of high school, and his mother was amazing, and she and I are still very close, and I think she gave me that balance and probably recognized things in me that I needed, and that was a really, when I look back at like what carried me through and got me through, that was a really important thing. And but then when that relationship broke off, it was lonely for a while, a long time. I always kind of had lots of people around me, pretty social and friends, but as far as people that got me or we could talk with each other on that kind of weird intellectual level, I always had one or two really special friends. Mm-hmm. And those people, we also have a tendency amongst us to kind of carry each other so close that it doesn't even really seem like we're apart.